Oh boy, I think everyone loves this tool, so why not have a bit more fun with this? The Instant Genghis Khan. Wow, I mean, like, everyone's talking about it, people want one. Of course, gotta thank Jörg for this. This is his tool, his idea, his invention, so he gets all the credit. I'm just guy using it. That's a few shots. Beautiful, of course. Hey. There we go, that's all slow. It's funny, like I'm using a glove right as I'm shooting other archery bows, but it's a little slower with the glove, and I tend to release a lot worse. Should point out that accuracy isn't guaranteed. You can definitely send shots off target if you don't release correctly. There is a guardrail, but that doesn't dictate all the accuracy. There are other factors as well. I mean, I haven't really moved a whole lot, but there's quite a bit of spray there. But you know, as long as you hold it still, got a good grip each time, then it'll fly straight. And of course, in watching this, I think many people are completely enraptured by the speed aspect. Fair enough. I mean, speed has a certain appeal to it, and part of the fun of this is shooting as quickly as you can. Now, one of the burning questions is this faster than normal archery or normal speed shooting? Well, let's do a quick test. This isn't the latest model, of course. This is the version 1. So there's no stripper clips, there's no large magazine, there's no pump action. So this is a slower version. Perhaps the more, I guess, elegant version, but definitely a slower version. But we'll do this. We've got a 15-pound bow attached. Hey, what happened there? Ah, I've got a weapon jam. Ah, now that I've never seen before. We've got a weapon jam. Now, this is not scripted, by the way. What happened here? Now, that's actually a pretty big jam. So, what's happened is that the string has slipped past the bolt, and I can't get it to come back for some reason. Imagine it's happening in battle. Like, this is effectively out of action. Where's the user manual to troubleshoot this? So I'll need to somehow get the bolt to come back. So I've had to unstring the bow and get the string off. It's still stuck in there, but I think we've released the pressure on it, so we can use our ramrod. Yep. Like, oh, yeah, okay. Yep. Oh, that's a pointy bolt there. Don't do that. Okay, so we've rammed it down. I think we're feeding again. Yep, so we're back in the start. I think that's one of the bolts I have, which I've turned the knock by accident. It might just be like a few degrees off. Let's just empty it somehow. There we go. You would have thought, well, that was all sorts of wrong. Finally got it off there. Yeah, as few moving parts as there are in this device, it does rely on a few things to function. The main thing is, I'm not sure about the more recent versions, but the primary function is that when the string comes back, it has to get past the bolt. So if for some reason something stops the string coming back or stops it going forward, then you will have a failure to feed or a jam. So you have modern problems with an ancient tool. So I mean, you would have thought, right? I know some of my arrow tips or my bolt tips have some slightly blunted edges that have hit hard objects or the ground, so the tips have been slightly dulled. Because of that, some of them don't feed very well in this tool. So I guess if you're looking at it from a practical perspective, let's say this was an actual weapon used in history, that kind of sensitivity might create a critical failure in the system. So again, it's not a big fault in the tool. It's a lot of fun to use. Doesn't really happen. That's the first time it's happened, by the way. Completely unplanned. That was not the topic of the video, by the way. And it's jammed. All right, that's one of the dulled arrows. Okay, and jammed again. So that has a blunted edge. It doesn't slide past this clean, but it still can. That's nasty. Oh, wow, okay. All right, it's day 2 now. Everything's fixed up, of course, so we're gonna try this again. Now, you can carry this fully loaded, and imagine if you're looking at this from a doctrine point of view, if you're implementing this in a hypothetical fantasy army, you probably would carry it loaded. But as a matter of doctrine, you might not. So let's assume we have it empty. We're gonna shoot from an empty chamber, empty magazine, and then we'll shoot. So we have to include the reload time. That's a dry fire. Alright, did it feed? No. Why didn't it feed? Alright, dry fire is supposed to be okay. This is a plastic boat, basically, fiberglass, so don't expect it. Okay, so the vanes didn't align. And it's experienced a similar jam to yesterday. Now, this isn't a Nox fault this time. Alright, pull it out, disassembling it. But there you go. It did feed. It did push the arrow forward. But it jammed. So, that's 2 days in a row. What's going on here? Alright, that should be the safe arrow. Alright, let's restart that. Looks good. There we go, fed. Alright, I do see a problem with a glove. I do sometimes catch it on the inside knuckle, so it's not guaranteed to be accurate. It's interesting. Alright, reload seems good. Not bad. Alright, let's do a second round. Again, if you don't want to cut the initial load, then you cut it out. But I think you have to factor in, for the sake of being fair, the fact you've got to load the weapon to begin with. Alright. Oh, bad reload. There we go. Didn't feed. Yep, okay, so we've got another jam here. Not sure what's happened. It's been happening a lot recently. The Wandy bolts tend to slide forward. Maybe the way I'm reloading, I think I'm sliding too far forward. Yep, okay, so what happened is I've probably tilted downwards, I've pushed it forward, so it hasn't fed properly. Which means it's the same as last time. Can I get this down if I unstring it? We'll try the ramrod method. That's not gonna work. It is funny how it's only like more recently I'm trying to stress test this old model that I'm seeing some of these problems. So the string's effectively stuck until I can get the bolt dislodged. Alright, I've pushed it forward, there we go. Alright, so just get the thing off. And again, with the newer models, you have the lever, so it's a bit easier. And what's happened here? Yeah, the fletching got stuck here. All right, ramrod. There we go. This is the most bizarre thing. I know people talk about like musket warfare, but here's what using I think it's a ramrod. Okay, that seems to be fine now. Alright, that's a pretty bad test. Feed. Yep. Okay, not bad. Alright, one more test. This time we'll do a safe load. So we'll just load one at a time, rather than 3 at a time. Because that was the way Jörg originally designed this. So it's a little slower, it'll be a lot more reliable. We do 3 and 3. That's a pretty slow load, but it fed properly. Nice, good accurate shooting. And thing came up there, that's fine. Let's push back in. Fed. Not bad. Okay, so we've got a pretty nice target shooting there. Another part which I find fun, it's the 30 arrow dump. So this is my third day doing this. I'm using Slavic Draw, 35-pound bow. I've got 30 arrows. I could do 6 like I did last time, but I'm gonna do 30. And there's a point here where you can have a burst, but you also have sustained shooting. And that's something perhaps more important in practical military archery. If you had to shoot quickly, it's more about being able to shoot quickly for a long period of time rather than shooting 3 or 6 in a very short burst. So we'll dump 30. We'll see how this goes for me. It's a bare shaft too. A lot of loose heads there. Oh, that's how it looks, guys. Whoa.